Greetings! Welcome to the Data Doctor's continuing discussion series on developing an HR analytics career path for compensation professionals. The objective of this three-part series is to build a career path that transitions compensation professionals from traditional compensation analysis to higher value HR analytics using a fact-based analysis of data. In part one of the HR analytics career transition discussion, the Data Doctor evaluated two different data model frameworks, the Data Analytics Maturity Model and the four-quadrant model. Now remember from part one that 60 to 80% of analytics work is building the data framework, and the wrong model usually leads to wrong insights and wrong conclusions. The four-quadrant was selected because it generates a more robust data framework supporting more detailed analysis by comparing HR activities against two measurement dimensions: analytical sophistication, in other words, how complex are the analytics, and value return to the organization, think return on investment. We then clustered HR activities based on similar computational complexity and organization ROI. In the second segment of the HR analytics career discussion, the Data Doctor identified three tool sets that represent the breadth of analytics tools used in HR activities, and then determined which tool was best for each HR activity. HR activities where spreadsheets are the best and most prevalent tool set are circled in blue. Notice that the spreadsheet tools, like Excel, span the value range for all Quadrant 3 and Quadrant 4 activities. The HR activities where cross-sectional regression analysis is the optimal tool are circled in yellow, and they're in Quadrants 1 and 2. And finally, the HR activities requiring the computational complexity of regression time series analysis are circled in purple. All those are in Quadrant 2. We then added block arrows across the value matrix for each of the three tool sets to clearly illustrate the tool set's prevalence and optimal use across those HR activities within the value matrix. So now in the last segment of the HR analytics career discussion, let's assess how those different skill requirements may inform different roles on the HR analytics career path. In part two of this discussion, the doctor outlined example skill milestones for each of the three common tool sets. Here's the spreadsheet learning curve outlined in part two. Now let's turn that increasing level of spreadsheet skills on its side and overlay on the four-quadrant value matrix. Advancing spreadsheet skills are important in Quadrant 3, which covers traditional compensation analysis, but those spreadsheet skills are also key tools in Quadrant 4, the high-value, low-hanging fruit quadrant. Now let's look at the learning curve milestones for cross-sectional regression. Cross-sectional regression is primarily a Quadrant 1 activity, but understanding the basic tenets of regression analysis start in Quadrant 3. Finally, let's look at the learning curve milestones for time series regression. Time series regression is an important tool in Quadrant 2, but realistically, nowhere else. Now let's project a set of career roles onto the value matrix. We'll leave the learning curves for the three tools in place for reference. The compensation analysis role dominates Quadrants 1 and 3. Spreadsheet tools like Excel are key capabilities for most activities, but there is a need for cross-sectional regression for some activities. The HR expert analytics role resides primarily in Quadrant 2, the high organization value, high computational sophistication quadrant. And in the middle space between these two roles is the transition HR analytics role. This role still uses Excel extensively, but is applying those skills across a broader set of HR activities. The role requires the use of cross-sectional regression analysis, particularly to identify outcome drivers. We broadly identified career roles but within each individual contributor role are career levels. The 4 levels span from entry level to specialist. The senior role is the career level, the highest level most incumbents will achieve in their career. The specialist level is a subject matter expert, and promotion to this level typically requires a business need. Now, we want to thank the survey firm Culpeper & Associates for allowing us to use their career ladder framework as guidance in this discussion. So we've identified 3 roles that can form a career transition growth path. Let's look at the duties and skill requirements for each of those roles. The compensation role includes duties typically found in most compensation departments. Education and skill requirements include a bachelor's degree, increasing skill in spreadsheets like Excel throughout career role advancement, and cross-sectional regression skills only at the senior and specialist level. Investing in new business intelligence or statistical software is not required for this role. The transitional HR analytics career role puts more emphasis on data management and quality assurance, monitoring key performance indicators, and providing analysis and reporting to management and stakeholders. Education and skill requirements include a bachelor's or master's degree with technical coursework like mathematics, statistics, or econometrics, advanced skill in spreadsheets and cross-sectional regression, and moderate skills in time series regression. Data quality and data reporting are key learned skills, but detailed knowledge of database design and data warehousing is not necessary, as these capabilities will typically be provided and owned by others within the organization. Investing in new commercial business intelligence or statistical software is required for this role. The expert HR analytics role is focused on coordinating HR analytics with the rest of the organization. The emphasis here is on broader data management, greater focus on improving business operations, and collaborating at an enterprise level. Education and skill requirements include a master's or PhD degree with technical coursework like mathematics, statistics, or econometrics, advanced skill in spreadsheets, cross-sectional and time series regression. Data quality and data reporting are critical skills. The role requires broader understanding of database design to facilitate collaboration with internal and external experts in the design of new business intelligence tools. Investing in new commercial business intelligence or statistical software is required for this role. Now, combining the 3 career roles and their career levels provides both a career path vision and guidance on the skills required to advance in increasing levels of responsibility. So an intermediate level compensation professional can now visualize how their current level of skills are readily transferable to analyzing broader and higher value HR activities. When the doctor started this 3-part discussion, the objective was twofold. First, to build a transitional career path from traditional compensation analysis to higher value HR analytics. And secondly, and perhaps more importantly, to use data analytics concepts and fact-based analysis to create that career path. So, any insights from our data-driven analysis? Using the 4-quadrant model framework supported review of the impact of analytic sophistication and organization value on individual HR activities, rather than solely looking at data analytics correlation with value. The data framework identified high organization value HR activities that do not require high levels of analytical sophistication. These are the low-hanging fruit activities. In part 2, we found that spreadsheet tools like Excel have broad applicability across the organization value spectrum, which means that compensation professionals have opportunities to transition to HR analytics early in their career, but continual enhancement of Excel skills is a must. And while specialized skills must be developed for the senior compensation and specialist levels, there is time within a career cycle to enhance that knowledge. Fact-based analytics does work even for something as mundane as transitional career paths. The Data Doctor's analysis illustrates a logical and attainable career path for compensation professionals interested in transitioning to higher value HR analytics. We've shown you don't need to be a data scientist to add organization value, and in fact can pursue transition opportunities early in your compensation career. The key is finding low-hanging fruit, a topic we'll cover in future posts. Our three-part Analytics Career Path series told a story supported by straightforward analytics and easily gathered data. But a point I hope is clear is that all that analysis would not be possible without the data. Data is the fuel that empowers analytics, and analytics without good quality data is just a wasted effort. The purpose of analytics is to let the data tell its own story. Successful HR analytics practitioners bring more than knowledge and technical skills to the analytics table. They have a passion for data. They have the curiosity to explore fact-based alternatives in problem solving. And their drive in HR data analytics is to improve business operations within the organization. So if data is just a thing to you, then HR analytics might not be your best role.